Hi, I'm Dalton from Performx Physical Therapy, and we're going to quickly go over that shoulder internal rotation screen that we covered in today's grappling injury workshop and how it translates over to injury risk that we end up seeing in the shoulders and down the chain into the arm. So a big movement pattern that we see, or a restriction to a movement pattern that we see, is a lot of shoulders that tend to roll forward. And this happens for a lot of different reasons, kind of posture, work positions, or just general tightness where we hold ourselves like this. When we have this type of movement in the shoulder, instead of sitting back in the middle of the socket like it should be, what we end up seeing is we have a big restriction and loss in internal rotation of the shoulder, or the shoulder's ability to rotate down like this. So we can quickly test that if we lean back against the wall, pulling the shoulder blades flat on the wall so everything's nice and flush. We'll pull the arm up to 90 degrees. The elbow stays about shoulder height, and we should be able to rotate the hand about down to the hip or a little bit further without seeing the shoulder have to roll forward off the wall. So you can quickly screen and test yourself and check your range of movement in your shoulder. And if you're limited, a lot of people will get to about here, and then you'll see the shoulder start to rotate forward in order to get the rest of the movement. If that happens, we see a large strain on the front structures of the shoulder, so the bicep tendon, inside the shoulder, the labrum, and also the rotator cuff and the AC joint. So if you have some problems going on in the front of your shoulder or down your arm, a lot of times this internal rotation can be. A quick mobilization that we like to do in order to improve the internal rotation is we're going to use a band. We're going to put it around the lower part of the elbow, and then we're going to put that arm behind the back. And then from this position, we want to set the shoulder blade back and pull the shoulder to the back of the socket. And then we're going to add some tension to the band. Okay. In this position, we're going to do two things. One, we're going to squeeze the shoulders back as far as we can while we're trying to move the arm across the back and up the back without letting it roll forward. So we're going to pull everything back as we slowly increase the tension on the band, and we should get a large stretch in the shoulder, and we're going to hold this for about a full minute. Go over quickly one of the injury screens that we did, or one of the movement screens that we did for our grappling injury workshop for the shoulder. And that's looking at the shoulder extension. What we like to see is you should be able to clasp your hands behind your back. You should be able to pull your shoulders back, elbows straight. And in this position, we'd like to see the shoulders be able to come up to about 60 degrees or higher without seeing the shoulder dump, the head poke forward, or start to doing stuff like that. If we are tight and we have a restriction in this movement, every time the arm comes behind the back, what we'll end up seeing is the shoulder rotating and dumping forward in order to get there, and we start to put the structures in the front of the shoulder at risk for injuries, long head of biceps, labrums, AC joint, things like that. So we want to improve that shoulder extension if we can. If you have restricted shoulder extension, a nice way to stretch that is to use kind of a heavy exercise band, hook it up into a doorway or a squat rack, something sturdy, and you're going to start by reaching behind you in the band, holding the shoulders back into that position, and then we're going to start to load up the band into some pressure. We can split our stance. We're going to pull the shoulders back and try to fight the hands up towards the ceiling. Hold there, and then we're going to add a bit more tension by leaning into the band and almost relaxing the shoulders so the band takes it from us. We'll repeat the position, squeeze the shoulder back, try to lift the arms. We usually hold this for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then repeat. We hold that position, lean a little bit more tension into the band, and let the arms relax back and let the band take it from us. And then we keep repeating 10 times through, or about a full minute, trying to get the arms as far back and as far up as we can, using the band to help. Thank you so much for coming to the workshop and checking out these exercises. Remember, these are the tools that start the process in order to make a longer term change. They'll help open up your range of movement like we want, and then we want to strengthen and make that long-term change to that range of movement. So it's that first step in the process. If you're struggling with any of these movements or restrictions, come and visit us. We can help you out and show you exactly what you need to do to improve it.